Welcome to another exciting episode of Inside Saginaw Podcast. I am Pedro Zambrano, Director of Economic and Community Engagement.
I am Alina Davis, the Communication Specialist, and we have a very special guest here with us.
Doug Spears, honored to be the Saginaw Fire Chief.
All right, Chief, welcome. First of all, you're the first chief to come to our podcast. Hopefully, our other chief, looking at you, Chief, if you're watching this.
We'll set the bar high.
Yeah, we'll
that's
set
right.
the bar. We'll let him know. We actually have a meeting with him tomorrow, so
right.
we'll let him know. Like, hey, Chief Spears is set the bar really high. Well, Chief, you are the fire chief of Saginaw. How long you been the fire chief?
I've been the fire chief 16 years now.
Oh, wow.
Fixing to be 16 years.
Fixing to be 16 years. And how long you been with the city of Saginaw?
It was just about 31 years.
31 years.
Right.
Very exciting.
31 years in August that I've been a paid firefighter here. I was here a little bit before that as a volunteer, about 2 years prior to that. So 33 years total.
Okay.
In the
Were
fire
you,
service
were you
here.
always a Saginaw area native or?
No, not necessarily. I moved in Saginaw because I learned they had a combination department at the time and a pretty robust volunteer program. And I was interested in the fire service, so I moved here to join the volunteer fire department while I was going through training.
When you said a combo, what do you mean by that?
It means it's part career firefighter and part volunteer.
Oh, okay.
So that's how most fire departments generally start. They make the transition from volunteer to combination to fully career.
Okay. Yeah. I used to work for a city who I think is going through that right now. It was all volunteer, and then I think it moved on to combo.
Right.
I think they're moving on
That's
to
the normal evolution.
Makes sense.
And as you add more paid people, career people, there's less interaction for the volunteers, and that's how it kind of fades away.
So, were you already a fire person prior to coming to Saginaw, or is
No,
this your first
like I
department?
say, I joined here as a volunteer, didn't have any knowledge of the fire service. I had an uncle that was a firefighter in Fort Worth. Oddly enough, Meacham Airport used to be a separate fire department from the city of Fort Worth, and then they combined. And my uncle worked there and kind of got me interested in being in the fire service. So I came to Saginaw to join the volunteer fire department, and I went to EMT school, medical training school, on the nights and weekends while I worked a full-time job. And then after completing that, I went to the fire academy on nights and weekends. After completion of that, I was fortunate enough that we had some openings here in Saginaw. They were adding another person to each shift, 3 people. So I eventually got one of those positions. I've been here ever since.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
We actually have a photo. We were going through photos for a video we did, and you're in it, and it's like you're
It's like
fresh,
1999.
little baby.
You
Long
look the
time
same.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
Handsome
look the same.
fella.
Yeah.
Opinions vary on that. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's-
you've been here for 31 years. How has the city grown since then?
when I first started, I want to say the population was 14,000, something like that.
Oh wow.
So nearly doubled in that transition, added a lot of staff across the city for different departments. When I first started, we just had the single fire station on Saginaw Boulevard. And in 2001, we added the other fire station. That's when I was promoted lieutenant at that time. So that's grown tremendously. The northern part of town, currently where Albertsons and all that is, when I first started, none of that was there. So
Yeah, talking to the old timers, they tell me that Bailey Boswell was the end of the world.
it was.
Yeah.
And,
There was
right
nothing.
before that, there was
Yeah.
not anything.
Yeah.
But the last thing was that little convenience store on the corner of Park Center. I think that was really the last building. That's a Valerio or something now. There wasn't anything past that. The sign that pointed the way to Boswell High School, that was about it.
It's so interesting to hear, knowing like what it looks like today, and also interesting to hear that you've seen Saginaw like truly grow into what it is today.
Tremendously different. And still growing.
Yeah, that's very true.
Still got some room to grow. Be interesting to see where we kind of plateau.
Yeah. So, Chief, everybody has their own journey to moving up in the department. What was yours moving up to be fire chief?
So, as I previously mentioned, in 2001, we opened Station 2, which created an opportunity to promote some people to the company officer, lieutenant level. So I was one of the 3 that got promoted and opened the new station over there. And then in 2006, the position of fire marshal was created. It's more a daytime position. So I was lucky enough to get selected for that position, the fire marshal, in 2006. And then the previous fire chief, he left the fire department in 2010. We had three internal candidates. The city manager chose to try to get somebody from internally, which we all supported. I was one of those three, all three capable of becoming the fire chief and managing the department in a good fashion. But I was the one selected in 2010 and been the chief ever since. Very privileged and honored to step into that position. The previous fire chief did a good job in our evolution to getting where we're at. So it's my goal to continue that and make sure we're meeting the community's needs, operating in a safe manner, and here we are today.
No, I think you've done a fabulous job. You worked on the new fire station, and it's very nice, award-winning fire
Yes.
station.
Sure.
Very fancy.
If you don't know this, a lot of people come to our fire station to visit it because they're designing their own fire stations.
That's correct.
And they see how
many visitors.
Yeah, great job y'all did over there. It's
It was a team effort. It was a lot of work being the fire chief and then kind of managing the project at the same time. But the assistant fire chief, Scott Craver, was very helpful right there, walking lockstep on that project. Fire marshal was also very instrumental, our building official. So we had a lot of staff members engaged in that project. So it wasn't just a one-person show to get it to where it needed to be. Big project. We're very fortunate to have such a nice facility.
Yeah, and something very unique to our department that I noticed, because different cities, I grew up in a bigger city. Fort Worth's right next to us, so they're a bigger city. But our fire department, all of our firemen are paramedics.
They are indeed. From the fire chief down, everybody's a paramedic level. That was really instituted way before I became the fire chief. So we are able to offer the highest level pre-hospital care that you can. There are a few things that are different on the ambulance just because of time constraints. We're not with the patient as long as maybe the ambulance is transporting it to the hospital. So there's a few things that they could do beyond our care, not that we couldn't do them, but it requires medication or some different things that we wouldn't just have the opportunity to use. So, but all the skills paramedic have utilize in the field, we're capable of doing those right from the fire truck.
You just got a new engine or apparatus, right? That
We
just came
did.
into Service.
Apparatus kind of prices are out of sight. It's a big deal across the country, but we're just replaced or added an apparatus, actually, a brand new fire engine. So we're in the process of designing a new aerial apparatus to replace our current one as well. So a lot of moving parts in the fire department.
Yeah. So kind of going on with that, as fire chief, do you ever go on calls? If you do, like what kind of call is that?
I do if we have a significant incident in the city, hazmat, fire, something like that. I will generally go on those type calls. Anything where we have concern for our staff or just need additional people, not that I always show up and am in charge. We have a battalion chief that is versed in managing just about any scene we can encounter. So it's to show up for support, kind of oversee. The fire chief's ultimately responsible for everything the fire department does and the outcome. So some of those you're going to want to be there just to make sure everything's going okay, but it's more to be a support role primarily. So not as many calls as I'd like to go on. When you show up, everybody gets a little nervousness in them when the fire chief's there. So
Yeah.
recognizing that.
Oh, we're nervous when you're here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I hope not. But so you don't want that to be the case a lot, right? So there's plenty of things for both myself, the fire marshal, and the assistant fire chief to be engaged in. We run kind of lean for our fire department, particularly offering the level of service that we do. So we stay pretty engaged daily, and we have a good staff that can manage the emergency runs. We're very fortunate with the staff we have, and they do a great job. So.
So what does like your typical day look like? You come in and, it's like Monday, which today we have you doing something different, but what do you typically do?
Right. So my schedule is I work 4 days a week. 7 to 6. We work 10-hour days, so I'm there Monday through Thursday, and the assistant fire chief is there Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Friday. So one of us is there 10 hours every day. Typically, a lot goes on. Shift change, and in the morning we're pretty busy. Morning rush hour. The potential for something to happen, so we get there early and we stay a little later in the afternoon through drive time. A lot in case something significant goes on. Mondays when I come to work, usually there's something that's happened over the weekend that may need my attention, but we keep a pretty busy schedule with everything going on, so we try to work off our calendar and stay with that, but it changes week to week. Right now we're in the middle of budget time, so taking up a lot of that. As I mentioned, we're finalizing fire truck design. We're replacing a vehicle for the battalion chief, so that takes a little bit of effort. Lots of things go on every day.
So, you've been in this career a while. Is there any story kind of throughout this entire career, at any point of your career, that has stuck with you, or something positive that you remember and it's just been with you throughout the career?
Yeah, it's probably hard to pinpoint one. I would say being in the fire service, you get to show up when somebody's having the worst day, potentially of their life, right? And anytime you show up and you can make a difference in what's going on with them, there are many of those through a fire service career. So those are all kind of together. I guess that's the big positive thing, is knowing the impact you make whenever you show up for somebody. Obviously, there's probably a couple, if I sit here and thought about it, that are tremendous, but every day good things go on and somebody calls us for help and you get to show up for that. So there are so many, just the impact you make to people. That's what I take away from it in my memory, particularly when on the fire service side or the fire station side on shift. Somebody calls, we're there to help. Easiest to get, you just call 3 numbers and we show up, find out what the problem is, we fix the problem, can summon whatever amount of resources are needed, and then we leave just as easily as you got us there. Most times you don't have to sign anything, follow up, anything. You show up, address your problem, and then we leave.
So you have a saying in your fire department. Is it? It's on the side of your fire trucks. I've seen it. So can you tell us
Our
about that?
family helping your family. Anybody that's in the fire service knows it's a pretty close-knit family, right? So we do have a family in the fire service, and you're calling us to help your loved one, your family member. So that's essentially what that means, our family helping your family.
Well, Chief, I think the residents and the community of Saginaw think that your family is helping them, and I think they really appreciate that.
Sure. We'll be there when you need us.
Yeah. Well, Chief, usually towards the end of the podcast, we ask our guests if they have any inside information that's going on. So take it away.
Well, I always take the opportunity to mention our alerting systems in the city. Weather events are probably one of the bigger hazards we face, right? That could be citywide, big disaster level. So we do have outdoor warning sirens in the city. We have 9 of those strategically placed. The fire department is responsible for setting those off. They get tested the first Wednesday of the month, but I will say Fort Worth surrounds us. They have warning sirens also. They set theirs off maybe a few times when we don't feel it's warranted. We watch the weather a little closer. Theirs are more regional, where ours are a little more concentrated, so we can really focus on the Saginaw area. The point I want to make is if you hear the Saginaw warning sirens going off in a weather event, it is a real deal. Take necessary measures at that point. We also have a smart alerting system, Code Red is what it's called. You can go to the city website and find out how to sign up for that. But we send notices through email, your phone, desktop computer even now, alerting you when weather, something like that has the potential to affect the city, but not only weather. If we had an evacuation, water outage, gas leak, something like that, we'll alert the public through that. The fire department is responsible for managing that and sending the messages. We'll try to always make sure it says Saginaw in the leading part of that, so you know it's coming from a Saginaw official. If you see that, make sure you're paying attention to it. Everybody gets fatigue on particularly their telephone from notifications, and they start to disregard it. So if you see Saginaw in there, give it an extra look, because it's probably something you need to know.
So, Chief, if I'm a high school student or a young person and I want to be a firefighter in the future, what would you recommend the career path or any
A couple different
recommendations?
ways to do that. For our department, you really have to already have completed the fire academy and your initial level EMS training, EMT level. So the Tarrant County College, which is the fire service training center, is right close to our city. You can sign up and go to the fire academy and go that route. There are some cities, generally your larger cities that are civil service, Fort Worth, Irving, Dallas, those places they will hire you and send you to the fire academy and get all your certifications that are needed. So either one of those two paths, nowadays it's a pretty big commitment to get into the fire service for a city like ours, and I say city like ours, the mid cities, our neighbor Lake Worth, Haslett Fire Department, where you already have to have the certifications. So it's a pretty big time commitment and monetary commitment to get into it, but it's well worth it to get into that career field. And if you're unsure, there's still some departments in the area that have volunteers. So if you want to go check it out before you make that commitment, you can go be a volunteer somewhere, and they'll get you initially trained up so you can be a volunteer in their department.
Well, thank you, Chief, for joining us, especially with how busy you are.
Thank you.
So, our insider information is that we have a newsletter. It's called the Inside Saginaw Newsletter. We're going to put the link right here for you to go and subscribe, and we send that every month so you can get all the fun information that's regarding our city. We'll also put information about Code Red. So, if you want to sign up for that, you can check out our next newsletter. So, I'm Alina. This is Pedro, and we'll see you on the next episode.